After taking their sweet-ass time, Dead Island 2 is coming after a minor delay from February to April 2023.
It's hammer time.
If you're itching to smack more zombie heads, post-apocalyptic California awaits. Who knows, maybe we might get to see our favorite celebrity zombified here. Games are making our dreams a reality. With Hogwarts Legacy, we make our own characters, allowing us to bring ourselves into the halls of Hogwarts, as do our childhood heroes did. The open-world castle is huge, and you're guaranteed to get some wizarding lessons and spell fights. There's a new Monster Hunter competitor in town. Wild Hearts is EA's attempt at the genre, bringing us to an ancient Japan where magic and technology combine. You'll have one less buddy to play with in the 3-player co-op, but you'll also have a transforming box to act as an extra hand. Atomic Heart is a mix of all crazy things in an alternate Soviet Union. It's like BioShock, but Russian and with robots. After being stuck in development hell for quite some time, we'll finally get our hands on the steampunky shooter next year. It's the third major entry to an award-winning real-time strategy series. Homeworld 3 expands on the epic science fiction battles with a fresh co-op mode. Not only will it have Homeworld's RTS gameplay, but it'll also have some roguelike elements mixed in.
Signing off.
And speaking of science fiction, there's Planet of Lana, a hand-painted puzzle adventure that'll take you on a quest through time and space. Making your way around the sprawling world might get intimidating, but you won't be alone. You'll have a little pet with you on this one-of-a-kind journey. If you want more horror games next year, the creators of The Forest have some new nightmare fuel in store. Sons of the Forest is a step up from the original. You can still play with friends, but the new open world is rife with new challenges, like weather changes, that'll make survival even harder. The third installment of the strategy fan-favorite series is coming. Company of Heroes 3 will feature an ambitious single-player experience. The North African operation and the Italian dynamic campaign offer two different kinds of strategic play. Meanwhile, the new co-op multiplayer lets you play against AI with up to 4 friends. A game that's literally rocket science. Sometimes. Kerbal Space Program 2 builds upon the success of its first game with a multiplayer mode. Travel to the great beyond using new technologies to keep the dream of space going. It breaks out of Steam's early access this February 2023. Dragon Age Dreadwolf, the fourth major entry to BioWare's acclaimed fantasy series. If you're familiar with the previous game, Inquisition, your former party member Solus will be this game's main antagonist. Not much has been revealed yet, but it's scheduled for a 2023 release.
Demons, dragons, darkspawn.
Octopath Traveler 2, the next adventure to Square's latest JRPG series. By adventure, we mean a new set of faces, each with their own motivations and stories. Select from 8 playable characters and enjoy the signature 2.5D visuals. You don't have to play the first game, but you're gonna have to get used to its traditional turn-based combat. The forces of light and darkness reach their climax in this much-awaited expansion to Destiny 2. Keep in mind that you need to have the base game to play this. Join the fight in a whole new location in Neptune, where a cyberpunk city awaits. Don't worry about these new threats. Harnessing the power of a new subclass, Strand, may level the playing field.
Are we free?
From the gameplay alone, you can tell it's made by the same people behind Nioh. If you enjoy the challenges of its hardcore gameplay, you'll be welcome in Wolong Fallen Dynasty. It has the same Souls-like combat, and you'll be battling against demons in ancient China using your talent with the blade. Made for fans of Black Flag's naval battles, if you're looking for a story, you won't find it here. Skull and Bones is a pure multiplayer experience, taking place in the vast oceans. Up to 20 players can battle for naval supremacy. You can even upgrade your ship and crew using in-game resources, or Microtransactions. Minecraft Legends. A collaboration between Mojang and Blackbird, this is Minecraft with a whole different vibe. Unlike the original, this one has a story. You won't be building houses and surviving the night. Instead, you'll go on an action strategy journey to save the overworld from evil.
How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine?
System Shock. A remake of the 1994 science fiction classic. Stop the rogue AI Shodan from taking over Citadel Station. Fend off an army of rampaging robots in a satisfying first-person shooter combat. This remake packs an overhauled interface fit for the modern audience with improved graphics and sound.
The very notion disgusts me.
Resident Evil 4. A full remake of the 2005 survival horror classic. Now with visuals that would look good on your hopefully well-built PCs. This remake story remains the same, but who knows what surprises Capcom will be hiding under that attaché.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
Let's face it, Starfield is going to be a very big game. Bethesda really knows how to flaunt those numbers. Imagine 100 solar systems to explore, some meticulously designed and others randomly generated. It's already a sci-fi dream in the making, but let's hope they don't disappoint. Blizzard's Diablo 4 will also be going full blast next year. Instead of the usual 5-act storytelling, 4 will take players to an open world with 5 regions. It's their most ambitious entry yet. With branching storylines, it can only get better. Blizzard says not to worry about microtransactions because it won't be pay to win. Hopefully. Imagine Left 4 Dead, but with vampires. That's Redfall. This open-world first-person shooter lets you team up with your friends and slay bloodthirsty freaks. Pick between 4 characters, each with their own unique vampire-slaying abilities, and take back Redfall.
Let's finish this.
A sequel to the survival game where dinosaurs and machines are a common sight. Arc 2 takes place on a whole new planet, now with dynamic changes to its evolving world. Sadly, there aren't enough details yet. The devs did mention that Arc now uses a third-person perspective, and it'll inject Souls-like combat into its PvE. Larian Studios' Dungeons & Dragons-inspired RPG warps out of Steam Early Access next year. Baldur's Gate 3 retains its traditional turn-based combat in a non-linear adventure. So far, players enjoyed the breadth of content from its early access stage. That's a good sign that it'll be even better at launch.
Everybody's welcome. You're hired.
There's even more crazy party game shenanigans in Moving Out 2. If you think the first one was great, this sequel adds a sci-fi twist. Now this moving company is hopping across space and time. Thankfully, you won't be alone. There's more fun to be had with friends in co-op, now that they're adding cross-play support. Apart from the Resident Evil 4 remake, Capcom is also getting busy with Street Fighter 6.
Come on, I'm ready to go!
The redesigned characters, fluid combat, and better netcode makes the fans giddy with anticipation. Even if you're new, there will be new playstyles and options for casual and even hearing-impaired players. It seems like Cyberpunk 2077 has redeemed itself. Phantom Liberty is their first big expansion of Johnny Silverhand and V's story. Return to Night City, where crime is still at its highest. Experience a spy thriller set in a whole new location in this neon-soaked dystopia.
You know, taking that oath. Bad idea.